Hey everyone, today I'm going to review The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This book has been on my read list for a very long time, but I just wasn't able to get my hands on it. Luckily, I go to this book club where a gentleman was very kind enough to lend me his copy, which I am holding in my hand right now. As I was reading through it, I got to know that it's not an original. I mean, it has a little bit of typos here and there. Regardless, I finished the book, and while I was simultaneously listening to the audiobook, which in its own right is also done very nicely. I love this book so much that I had to get my own copy, and as a true bibliophile would, I got myself this particular copy, which is so fascinating. Let me just show you a little bit uh, closer to the camera. And I absolutely love this cover art, and it's a little bit thinner because it's a little bit taller as well. But anyway, regardless, let's talk about the book, shall we? The Picture of Dorian Gray is one of the most profound books I've ever read. Profound both in its philosophy and its prose. I was surprised to learn that this was Oscar Wilde's only book during his lifetime. I mean, predominantly he was a playwright and a poet, but his work in Dorian Gray is nothing short of spectacular. This is one of those books that you just can't put into one single genre. It has so many tonal shifts, which I believe could work to the detriment of a piece of art if not done correctly. But not here though. Oscar Wilde knew what he was going for, and he drew a lot of inspiration from many of his own life events. It begins as a Victorian era drama and focusing heavily on conversations between these characters, and then somewhere down the line it transitions into this crime thriller kind of novel, but albeit having a very deep philosophical commentaries. And then by the end of it, it almost turns into this gothic horror novel, which I absolutely love. But my favorite character in this book is Lord Henry Wotton. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't like his characteristics, I just like the way the character is written, in that it's very fascinating to learn about his philosophies and thoughts on all these topics like hedonism and passion and pleasure. And I absolutely loved the conversation that Lord Henry and Dorian have in this book. It's so engaging. Wilde's prose has very peculiar commentaries on art and culture in a good way, and it'll make you rethink your perception of art, beauty, and culture. And all of this is conveyed through the conversation between Dorian Gray and Lord Henry Wotton. The story is about this extremely charming young man named Dorian Gray, and who meets this artist or a painter named Basil Hallward. Basil Hallward wants to paint a picture of Dorian Gray. He is absolutely enthralled by him, and he adores his characteristics and how good looking he is. So he does paint a picture of him, and it's his masterpiece, but he fears that he may have put a little bit of too much of himself into it. I think the Picture of Dorian Gray questions whether art can or should be separated from moral and social consequences. And I guess that is what Oscar Wilde was aiming through writing this book. Lord Henry's words and philosophies have a deep impact on Dorian Gray. It changes him as a person over the course of this book. Now, I don't want to lean too much into spoiler territory here. So, in short, it's the tale of Dorian Gray's descent into this totally self-indulgent man and a narcissist. He becomes a narcissist by the end of the book, and ultimately he pays the ultimate price of his soul. It's quite a divisive book among the literary community. Some love it, some not so much. I find myself in the former category because to me, a book has done its job if it makes me forget reality, even if it's for a moment. And I think The Picture of Dorian Gray definitely did. So that was my review for The Picture of Dorian Gray. Have you read this book, or do you want to read it? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.